Good afternoon, everybody. Pigskin Pete here. Happy Wednesday to everybody again. So this is round 2. So anybody who's watching the stream earlier, I did a test run for this call-in thing, and it went terribly wrong. Nobody could hear the caller. And so after much pain and strife and pulling our hair out, luckily, Catfish and myself, we figured this thing out. We think we figured it out. So we're going to give this a test run number 2. Now you can see the call-in number live on the screen there, 855-902-9368. Before anybody calls, in case anybody does call, hold on, let me do something real quick. But I want to show you guys something that I got in the mail today. If I can get out of here. That's one thing about doing this call-in thing. There's so much crap going on the screen. It's amazing. But okay, so I got the call screen up here. But listen, look at this. So today, when I was trying to figure this thing out, I got this in the mail. I don't know if you guys can see that. Clemson Tiki Totem from none other than Catfish from the Volunteer Roadshow. This is my trophy for winning the Fan Face-Off Challenge against the Notre Dame fan. And I think that guy was Delusional Paul's cousin or something. So that's awesome. And I'm going to keep this right here, as a matter of fact. Right there, everyone can see it. And he sent me a note along with it, too. The note says, hi, it says my real name, but anyway, I'll say, hi, Pete. Enjoy your gift. Clemson sucks balls. We're going 15-0, I promise you that, from Catfish. So, thank you, sir. I mean, everything is true on there except for the fact that Clemson does not suck balls. But anyway. All right, so I have a call here. Let's see who's on the line. Go ahead, caller. Go ahead, caller. You're on the line with Pigskin Pete. How you doing, sir?
Lick my balls.
Yeah, is that all you got to say?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so that was apparently that guy waited that long to call in and say that. Yeah. Anyway, I'll wait on another call here. And now I feel like I've lost my audio altogether. Can you guys hear me? Yeah. All right, good. You can hear me. So I have a hold on a second here. I don't know why I lost my my audio for my calls. Now, this is already going terribly. We're only a minute into this thing here. We're going to figure it out, though. I promise. I'm gonna take this call here and see if you can hear it. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air with Pete. I can't hear you. Now I can't hear anything. Jesus. No call audio. Yeah, I can't hear him, and neither can you. And I have no idea what the hell happened. Let me see something here. I was disconnected from Skype. That's what it was. Let me recall Skype.
Thank you for calling Call-In Studios host and call screener line. Please enter your show number and press pound. Enter your 6-digit PIN number. Welcome, host. You are now in the host room and can manage your callers from the call-in studio web interface.
I'm sure you guys probably all heard that, but whatever. All right, so we're back online with the calls. So the first guy decided to call and tell me to lick his balls, I think is what he said, as he so eloquently put it. I mean, that guy was amazing. I don't know how long he waited on hold to do that, but. Looks like I have another call coming in right now. And I am going to answer this one. Good afternoon, caller. You're on with Pigskin and Pete Live. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you, Pete?
I'm doing great. Who am I speaking with?
We're speaking with Notre Dame Nation, so.
Oh, okay. Notre Dame Nation. How you doing, sir? What do you want to talk about today?
I'm doing great. What's your prediction for the Super Bowl?
I'm picking the Patriots. I'm picking them both straight up and against the spread. I think the last time I checked the spread, it was at, I think, 2.5 is what they were favored by. And so I think the Patriots will win, and I think they'll win by at least 3. So if the line is still 2.5, I would take the Patriots on either account. What about you? What do you think?
I like the Patriots, yeah.
You don't think there's any way that the Rams can win?
No, I think Tom Brady's too good. And I think the Rams defense is really overrated.
I agree. And the real thing to look for here is, what is Todd Gurley going to look like? Because the past couple of games, they've been saying he's not injured, but he's been looking like he's been injured. And so in order for the Rams to win this game, not only is Jared Goff and those receivers going to have a big game, but I think Todd Gurley is going to have to really, really be the star of the Super Bowl. Otherwise, they don't have a chance.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So did you?
All right,
Yeah, man. I got another call here. Thanks for calling in, man.
All right, thank you.
All right. All right, caller, you're on the air with Pete. How you doing? Catfish here, Volunteer Roadshow.
Well, you need to fire. You need to fire your producer, your technical support guy.
I was thinking about that. He's overpaid, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can anybody hear the audio? I'm not listening to it.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me see. I've got so many people calling in that are just typing in "lick my balls." I mean, that's what I'm getting here. You said you've never got trolled on here before, huh?
I'm not. One of my first ones I did. Turn your desktop audio up the slide bar.
Yeah, they say.
The mixer.
Yeah, they say that they can hear you fine. One person says you're a little bit low. Let me turn that up. The caller volume here. All right, go ahead and say something now and see what they say about that.
All right.
Is that better, people?
Hello, testing. Let's see what they say.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I think this call-in show is going to be a good addition to your show.
Thank you. It's something I've wanted to do for a while, and I'm not going to get into the logistics for all the viewers about why I couldn't do it. I told you why. I have internet problems with where I do my show from, and my phone is a part of my internet as far as doing these live streams, and so I can't take phone calls on my phone. Yeah. And for not only that, I don't want to give out my phone number to everybody in the world. And I know that like some people have that app where you can have a fake phone number and all that, but this just you're going down the rabbit hole. Plus, you offered to help me with this, and this is a much better thing where I can take multiple calls and actually attempt to screen them, which I think might help in the future.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But thank you.
I think it'll be good. So you're saying that they can hear us okay?
Yeah. Everybody's saying they can hear you fine.
All right, good.
Yeah.
All right, good. Well, I think you've come a long ways. I've always, and this is not butt kissing. I've told you this before. we've started within a week of each other. I subbed you up when you had like less than 10 subscribers, and man, you've just grown and been creative, always trying to find for something new. Us YouTubers, this is a dead period where it's just we're fighting for every little view we can get because it's such a niche market on YouTube, and it's so time sensitive. You know, you could put a video up and that'll keep getting views for years. But this, nobody cares after about 12 hours or less.
Yeah, it's not as easy as people think it is. I mean, anybody can upload a video, but to be able to have people that continue to watch and engage with you is, I mean, if it was that easy, everybody would do it. Now, I'm not great at it. I don't claim to be great at it, but it's a lot of fun for me. And I met a lot of cool people on YouTube, people like you and Bobby Durkins and even some of the subscribers, Tiger Nation and Prince 6'1". I went to a football game with them. I mean, that never would have happened if I didn't get on YouTube. And I look forward to doing more stuff like that.
Oh, definitely.
In the future, you know, getting up with other.
But I'm way cooler than Bobby Durkins, though.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm way cooler than Bobby Durkins.
Are you trying to get me to choose between you two, sir?
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. Well, for now, since you're the one that's on the phone, I like you a lot better than Bobby Durkins. Now, if Bobby Durkins calls in here next, I'm gonna like him better.
Oh, that's how it goes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we got it fixed. We spent a couple hours trying to get this thing fixed, and we got it fixed. And your show will keep getting better as you learn how to do it. I don't get to interact with the live chat as much, and you'll find that out trying to operate that call board and all the other stuff. But I try to make it a point to at least make one or two run-throughs to everybody.
Yeah, I'll give you guys a little bit of a background.
It's good inner.
We Catfish went through every setting on my computer and every setting in this software system and changed it 3 times, and it still didn't work. And what it came down to was I have an Apple computer, Apple laptop, and all I had to do was download some some kind of software so that you could hear a caller. That's how pretty much simple it was. It took me like 3 minutes once he figured out how to do it. He let me know, and I went and did it. It was something that really only needed to take about 3 minutes ended up taking about an hour and a half, but we got it figured out. So.
Yeah, good deal. Well, I'm going to let other people call in, and I'm glad it's working, and I look forward to seeing this call-in show grow.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
Buddy.
Yeah, man. Thanks.
And go Vols. We're definitely, I don't give a damn what you say. We're going 15-0 next year. I promise you that.
Right.
Promise you that.
Right. All right, I got another. I'll tell you, man. I got another caller here. Well, they just here we go. Go ahead, caller. You're on with Pixie and Pete. How you doing?
Hello, are you talking to me?
Yeah, you.
Okay. So I just want to know about, like, do you believe in any Super Bowl superstitions? Like, you know how there's the Drake curse going around?
Yeah. I mean, I don't really. First of all, who am I speaking with?
Isaac.
Okay. Yeah, I don't really have any superstitions as far as the Super Bowl goes. I will tell you a funny story though. So this hat that I'm wearing right now is one that I wear for every single Clemson game. Now, obviously, 2 years ago I didn't have this hat, but I had another hat that I wore for that season. So every year I do have a hat, and it's got to be the same hat that I wear for every single game. And I don't really think that makes the team win or not, but I know this the first time I don't wear the damn hat and they lose, I'm going to blame it on the hat. So even though I don't believe in superstitions, I still kind of have them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
That's why I'm praying on the Drake curse and Patriots losing.
So Drake is a Patriots fan?
No. So he wore this shirt, I guess, that had multiple, like the 4 teams that made it to the playoffs.
Right.
And, it showed, it went like, the first team to lose was the first team that was on his shirt at the bottom. Second team to lose, second team that was on his shirt. And then the Patriots were next, and then the Rams were on top. So people were saying that the Patriots are bound to lose because every time he wears a shirt, that team that he favors wins.
Right. Yeah, I do know that he's a Golden State fan.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I hope not, because every team like you said, every team he seems to represent loses. So I hope he doesn't become a Clemson fan. But hey, we'll see. I guarantee you, if the Patriots lose this game, the internet's going to blow up with the Drake controversy.
Yeah.
So who do you want to win the game?
It would be insane. The Rams, definitely. I'm a Steelers fan. So I hate the Patriots, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So, I really don't want to go down this road, but I'm going to ask you anyways, just for the entertainment purposes. And you can just give me a yes or no answer. You don't have to really go into it. But do you believe that the referees or the NFL in some way tried to make it where the Patriots went to the Super Bowl again this year?
Yes, definitely.
You do?
Just with all the with all of the things that they've pulled in the past, it's just insane, like how far they've gotten. Yeah. It just doesn't make sense that they've been in the Super Bowl, like, what is this now, like 3 or 4 years in a row?
Yeah. I mean, and I'm not trolling you or anything. I'm just asking. Is it possible that maybe they're just good enough? Yeah. They're just good enough to get to the Super Bowl most years?
No.
No? No. Okay. So why didn't the NFL or the refs want the Saints to go to the Super Bowl then? Because I think that would have been like a more compelling Super Bowl to see Drew Brees versus Tom Brady, and probably would have made more money. But again, they didn't. I mean, the Rams are going, and not the Saints.
Well, I'm not saying they rigged the entire thing. I just feel like the Patriots definitely have, like, they use their money to pay off them a little bit more.
Okay.
And get what they want.
So you think that the Patriots or Robert Kraft or somebody is sliding somebody some $100 bills in that type of thing?
Or more than that, probably.
Yeah. Well, if that's true, which I don't agree with it, but you have your opinion. But if that's true, then Jerry Jones needs to get off his ass, because he's rich as anybody. He needs to start slipping some people some money, because the Cowboys have been terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, man.
All right. Well,
yeah. Thanks for calling in.
Have a nice day.
Yeah. Thanks for calling in.
Yep. Like my balls.
Yeah. Yeah. He had to throw that in at the end. Oh, Lord. Unbelievable. I guess I'm going to answer this call here. I mean, it's no big surprise that a guy that thinks the NFL is rigged and the Patriots are rigged to win says lick my balls at the end of the call. Let's see who this guy is here. I'm hesitant to answer this one. I have a feeling this one's going to be bad. I'm going to do it anyway. Let's see who it is. Yeah, go ahead. You're on with Pete.
Hello?
Yeah.
I was wondering if we could talk about Antonio Brown and the actions that he's been taking lately, as far as on Instagram and everything. So that.
Sure, we can talk about it. Who am I speaking with?
My name is Noah.
Okay. So, are you a Steelers fan, or you're just a fan of the NFL?
I personally am a Steelers fan. I just really upset with Antonio Brown lately, and I was wondering what your thoughts on it were.
I think Antonio Brown is a prima donna. I think he's probably more trouble than he's worth. But he is one of the top 3 receivers in all of the NFL, and so I don't know if it's worth it for the Steelers to put up with that based on the history they have. I don't think he gets along with Mike Tomlin. I don't think he gets along with Ben Roethlisberger, and those are 2 guys that you probably need to get along with if you're on the team. And so I think that another team that really needs a receiver would be willing to put up with that, as long as he could get along with the players and the coach. But I don't know. I mean, he's only ever been on the Steelers, right? So we don't know how he would act if he was, say, on the 49ers or any other team. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, I think personally, I don't know if you follow basketball or not, but you know who Kevin Durant is?
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like acting very childish in how he's going about this whole thing. And I personally do believe that, yeah, he's kind of acting like a prima donna. And I don't know. It's just hard to watch.
Yeah, I agree. And if you don't know, I'm a Carolina Panthers fan, obviously. And I made a statement that I would take Antonio Brown for the Panthers and be willing to put up with his antics, because the Carolina Panthers need an elite receiver so bad. We haven't had a breakout receiver since Steve Smith, and it's been a long time since Steve Smith's been there. And listen, Antonio Brown's he's better than Steve Smith ever was, anyways. But I don't know. I think that there's a line there. You might be a great player that can win games for you, but if you become too much of a distraction and too much of a prima donna, then it ends up being counterproductive. So I would take him as an experiment, but I don't know if I'd want to keep him for a long period of time, you know?
Yeah. I personally feel like he's on the downfall, and with Juju Smith-Schuster coming in, it feels like we're going to have to get rid of one of them anyways to keep the contracts, just so because we can't keep both of them because they're both going to be worth so much. So, honestly, with how Antonio Brown's acting, I think that it's not a bad idea to see how it works out to get rid of him. Yeah,
I agree. I think getting rid of him and getting rid of that salary that he has too, that'll open up some cap space, and maybe you could draft well. The Steelers always draft well, so they could get a good receiver in the draft maybe, and then use the extra money to go out and sign some other position of need, maybe on defense or something, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to let you go get on the next caller.
All right, man. I really appreciate you calling in, though. Thank you.
All right, I'll see you.
All right, so I got two callers on the line here. I got I see Cody's calling in. Cody, I've had somebody that's waited for a couple more minutes, so I'm going to bring him on first. But, Cody, just stay on the line there. I know you can hear me. I'm going to bring this Atlanta guy on here to talk. Good afternoon. You're on with Pete. How you doing?
Hey, Sports 70 ATL, man. Pete, you know I had to make an appearance, sir.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? It's David in Atlanta here.
Good, man. I'm glad to see that you had a call-in show, man. I was listening to a little bit of it. This is my opinion of it, because since obviously you're doing the Super Bowl thing, and I'm not going to take a shot at your Panthers, even though we swept you. It's all good, man.
All right.
Congrats on Clemson, by the way, winning the national championship. I was pulling for you.
Thank you. At least one of my teams did something this year. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, you know me. I'm still waiting for mine. But this is my whole outlook. If you check my videos out, Pete, on the Saints and the Super Bowl. On the Saints, yes, the Saints got robbed on a call.
Yeah.
But there's no guarantee that call would have led them to a game-winning field goal, because nothing is guaranteed. If anybody's watched the game, people want to magnify one call. They dominated pretty much the whole entire game. They had a 2-touchdown lead.
Yeah.
They had a 20-10 lead. They had a 23-20 lead. Could not make a stop under 2 minutes. Got the ball first in overtime and threw an interception. That is why they lost and are not heading here to Atlanta.
No, listen, I couldn't agree with you more.
I mean, you understand what I'm saying? Because even though the call that was not made, there's still no guarantee that they would. I mean, they were robbed of the opportunity, but they still may have missed it.
It's not only that. I agree with you, but it's not only that. It's also the fact that that last drive, there was bad play calling, bad clock management. They could have ran the clock out and kicked a field goal.
Okay.
Then, like you said, even after that, they still could have won the game. Even in overtime, they could have won the game. They turned the ball over they had the ball first. And also, there was a lot of calls. People want to point to that one call, and it was a terrible call. I'm not going to say it wasn't. Everybody knows it was terrible. I mean, really bad. But there was a couple of calls, like the face mask call that didn't get called against on Jared Goff, that could have changed the game.
I saw that one too on the highlights. And the Saints tend to forget that. I believe a couple plays earlier, if I remember correctly, weren't they a benefit of a 15-yard penalty that moved the chains for them?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, and
I mean, it is what it is, man.
Yeah, there was bad calls on both ways. People want to point to that one call because it was so egregious and it was at the very end of the game, and I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like you said, man.
Right.
They had so many opportunities to win the game and they just didn't do it. Now, I hate the Saints just as much as you do. I probably would have. I would have rather seen the Saints play the Patriots just for entertainment purposes. I think it would have been a better game than what we're going to see on Sunday.
Maybe so, but being a Falcons fan, a loyal Saints hater, Peete hater, that would have been disgusting. I would never root for New Orleans. Them coming here for 2 weeks would have been horrible. I mean, I'm still waiting for them. I only see one Saints car, but the Patriots would have beat them either way. But either way, to me, the overall, New Orleans got what they deserved, and they're displaying why they got what they deserved because of all the post reactions of what they're doing.
Yeah.
When it happened to Atlanta, we didn't go through all that. We took our medicine and all that. So,
yeah.
but I wanted to talk about that, but also wanted to say about the Super Bowl. A lot of people are asking me, Pete, hey, you're a Falcons fan. 28-3. Patriots came back and beat you. They're here in your city. Would you pull for them? Unlike a lot of people, Pete, I don't hate the Patriots. Yeah. You know, I mean, I don't like what happened in 2016, but how can you hate a team that has been so successful, cheating or not? Every team does it. They just got caught. They've been to 9 Super Bowls. Yeah. Okay, they've won 5 championships. Every time that they've won a Super Bowl in the playoffs, there has been a team that has either led them and let it get away, including our team. If you can't complain, I'm not talking about you, but in general, the world can't complain about hating on the Patriots if you have opportunity and don't beat them. If you want to complain about it, when you meet them in the playoffs, beat them.
No, I agree. Listen, you're not going to see me crying if the Patriots lose this game, but I agree. Here's the way I operate, and I'm pretty simple. Some people hate some teams more than others. I mean, I think I hate the Falcons and the Saints right. and maybe the Bucs a little bit more than everybody else because they're in our division, but I hate all teams equally. Right. I mean, the only team that I really don't hate right now is the Texans because they have Deshaun Watson, and I'm a huge Watson fan, and they have Hopkins.
Of course.
But if the Texans played against my Panthers, I'm not pulling for the Texans. I'm pulling for the Panthers. But I'm with you, man.
I understand.
The Patriots are just good. They're great. I mean, it is what it is. You can love it or hate it. They're great. Yeah. They're great.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Braves when they won those 14 straight divisional titles. Granted, only one World Series out of it, but everybody hated them. But during the regular season, couldn't beat them. Before I let you go, I have to ask you this: being Clemson, what has happened to Vic Beasley, or in my opinion, Busley? This dude, so much potential coming out of college. I'm trying to figure if 2016 was an aberration. He looks lost. And if I was the Falcons, to be quite honest, I would try to get rid of him, free up some of that money, because he hasn't done anything really in 4 years. 1 year out of 4.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened to him, man. And that's a good question because it's his rookie year. Wasn't he like the defensive rookie of the year in the NFL or something? I think he was.
Well, I think he came in 2015. I don't know if he was rookie of the year. The only year that I just basically know that stands out is the Super Bowl year when he had 11.5 or 12.5 sacks, something to that extent.
Yeah, I couldn't give you an educated answer on what's happened to him. I know he's a great player.
Yeah.
And if you go multiple years and you're not producing, then yeah, I'm with you. Yeah. Move on from the guy. What about Grady Jarrett?
Thank you for Grady Jarrett, though, but by the way, because Grady Jarrett's about to get paid. But for those of you who don't know my channel, Sports Live in the ATL, Pete, awesome channel, man. I'm glad I came across your channel last year. I know we haven't really interacted that much, but again, I respect the fact that Clemson won the national championship. You've been consistent. I wish you future success on your channel, your teams, and Falcons and Panthers. We own you guys, but we'll see what happens next year, man. Keep it up, and happy 2019, man.
All right, man. Thanks for calling in. Have a good one. Yeah, y'all go check him out.
No problem, Pete. Later.
Y'all go check out David in Atlanta, Sports Live in the ATL. So I'm going to bring on Cody now. Cody, man, you're the man. You've been sitting on hold for 8 minutes now. I appreciate it. You're live now. What's up, Cody?
I'm chilling, man. How you doing? I don't know if I love that last caller or hate him because he made a bunch of good points.
It's okay to hate him. You can do that.
Well, I don't ever want to be in a position where I'm agreeing with the Falcons fan, but I know that whenever the Panthers go into the Superdome, there's a million calls that don't go the Panthers' way. So it's very hard for me to have any sympathy for New Orleans fans. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But we've never lost that bad in the Super Bowl like the Falcons did, so whatever. I think we're still sitting pretty, man.
Oh, they definitely hold the biggest L of all time for blowing that. What was it, 24-point lead? And I know they're tired of hearing about that, but I never get tired of saying it, though.
Oh, I love it, man. I absolutely love it. But no, man, to bring it back to the Clemson Tigers for a minute.
Yeah.
I was wondering what player in 2019 are you most excited to see perform on the team? I know mine, and it's one that isn't really being said a lot. That's Jackson Carman, the offensive tackle that will essentially be replacing Mitch Hyatt. He was a 5-star recruit. Dabo stole him away from guys by telling Jackson that Urban Meyer probably won't be the coach anymore, and look who's no longer coaching the Buckeyes.
Yeah.
So Dabo was right about that one. But, yeah, man, I just want to know what players do you think are going to stand out for the Tigers in 2019, man?
All right, so the list is so long, I will be here all day. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one on defense and one on offense. How does that work? All right, so the guy on defense, without a doubt, is Xavier Thomas. I mean, this might be the best defensive end in the country next year. That's how good he is. I mean, he played a lot of meaningful snaps this year. Now, KJ Henry was redshirted, and I think he's going to be a great player too. He's another 5-star prospect. And listen, the only reason that Xavier Thomas and KJ Henry and some of these other guys on the defensive line didn't start this year is because look who was the defensive line was a bunch of juniors and seniors who are NFL players. But Xavier Thomas is a freak athlete, and I think whenever he does come out into the NFL in a couple of years, he'll probably be the first, at least the first defensive end taken. I don't know where he'll fall as far as overall prospect or anything like that. But the guy, he's big, fast. He's a train when he hits you. And so he's the one I'm most excited looking forward to on defense. Now on offense, the easiest thing to say is Justin Ross because we saw what he did as a freshman, but I'm not going to go that route. I'm going to go with a true freshman coming in, and there's two of them actually, but Joe Ngata, the wide receiver from California. Now there's another one, Frank Ladson, who I think he's from Miami. These are both 4- and 5-star wide receivers who are very high prospects. And but I think Ngata is going to be a lot like Mike Williams was. I don't know if he'll be like a Justin Ross type receiver. I think he's just a big jump ball guy, but I think he's got a huge upside. And to get any sort of athlete like that from the West Coast, which is something we haven't – that was the first player that Dabo's got from the state of California. So that was a big get for him. But I'm looking forward to him the most, I think.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you something to say about the two gentlemen that you just mentioned, Frank Ladson and Joe Ngata, they're both 6'4", 6'5". I mean, you add that to T. Higgins and Justin Ross. I mean, God, dude, what receiving core in the nation looks like the Clemson Tigers receiving core?
I mean, and you didn't even talk about him. I mean, Amari Rodgers is still going to be there. He's only going to be a junior. So, yeah, I mean, it's almost unfair how good that offense is going to be. Now, here's the caveat to that, though. As long as Lawrence stays healthy, because we're not deep at quarterback. Now, we have Chase Bryce, obviously, is still going to be the backup. But, I mean, how big of a drop-off is there between Lawrence and anybody else, but especially Chase Bryce? You know what I'm saying? So, so as long as Lawrence is healthy, and, of course, our running backs stay healthy, ETN, and I don't even know. I know Feaster. Is Feaster coming back? I think he was saying he hasn't announced whether he's coming back or not. Do you know?
I haven't heard on Tavian Feaster yet. I do know that we have Lynn J. Dixon, who was a freshman last year, and he's a burner too. And we have there's another 4-star receiver for 2019 that we're still in the running for to bring in. So that's another possibility as well. And there's a 5-star running back in 2020.
Yeah, I saw that guy.
We just recently sent out an offer to.
Yeah.
So we're pretty. I'm not really. I think you hit the nail on the head though. If Trevor Lawrence is healthy, then I mean, there's no reason why we're not back in another championship match next year. I mean, there's really no reason. I feel that our defensive line has the potential over time to be even better than Farrell, Lawrence, Wilkins, and Bryant, and all those guys are incredible. I mean, the ceiling on some of these players that we have right now, I mean, they might end up being legendary Clemson talent.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about this upcoming season is that our schedule is front-loaded. Our toughest games are in the first 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So we have we have Georgia Tech week 1, which that's easy. But week 2 we have A&M, which I think is still going to be a tough game. Thank God it's in Death Valley. And then week 3 we have Syracuse. So probably that's our 2 toughest games of the year, unless somehow one of these other teams like NC State or Florida State can get their act together and give us a run for our money. But outside of that, the rest of that schedule in the ACC, we should have no problem with it, right? And then, and of course, South Carolina at the end of the year. I don't think that there are. I still think that they can't, compete with us even next year. So, yeah, just those first 3 weeks, man. If we go 3-0, which we probably should, then can you point to a loss on that schedule if we get through the first 3 weeks?
I mean, the only one that stands out is A&M, and I know they have another top 5 recruiting class in the nation. I know they brought in some good players. I don't know their names off the top of my head. Other than A&M and, Syracuse, that always seems to play us hard for some unbeknownst reason. I don't know why they give us such a tough time. Other than that, no, I'm on par with you, man. I feel like right now in the ACC, we're head and shoulders above everyone else. And unless Florida State finally, gets over their slump and figures out what's going on down there in Tallahassee, I really don't foresee anyone even being close to us soon at all.
Yeah, I agree. The one that scares me the most is Syracuse, and even more than A&M. And the reason is because we have to go to Syracuse to play there. And I know it's just a basketball stadium and it's a dome, and it's a lot of people outside of the ACC look at Syracuse's home games and laugh, but it is a hard place to play. I don't care what anybody says. And then now, having said that, there's no possible reason that Clemson should be losing to Syracuse in any year, especially next year. But being the fact that it's in Syracuse and we're going to have a lot of young guys on defense, not untalented guys, but inexperienced guys on defense, that game could get interesting. So that's the one I'm really looking forward, or not looking forward to, but looking out for the most.
Yeah, and I remember when we lost to them, man. That place was booming, man. That little dome they play in. I don't know the name of it, but they've got some diehard fans, and I'm just excited about it, man. I think that there's never been a better time to be a fan of DePaul. The Clemson Tigers are just doing fantastic things, and I love the fact that we're doing it with an atmosphere that players want to play for Clemson. It's not Alabama where even the coaches and the players, they see it as an opportunity for the next level, be it to play in the NFL or to coach somewhere else.
Right.
Players and coaches at Clemson want to be here, man. Venables could have been a coach 2 years ago, anywhere he wanted to be. But he decided to stay here and be a part of something special. And I don't know who else has something even remotely close to that right now.
Well, nobody does. I mean, Alabama's the closest thing, but they do it in a different way. I mean, they're a factory. They produce championships. They produce NFL players, and they produce head coaches throughout college football and the NFL. And so that's where you go if you just want to step up in the world. When you come to Clemson, you come there to not only win and have a great career, but you also come there, to have fun. And everybody's got different goals in life. And but you know what everybody thinks, though? Everyone just thinks that Clemson's paying their players, and they're, one thing we are doing is paying our coaches very, very well.
Absolutely, man. Look, I don't even listen to the rumors about paying players, man. It's like, listen, there's a seedy underbelly to college football that people want to refuse to admit exists or whatever. Me personally, I don't even talk about all of it. I mean, the fact of the matter is, you have to play on Saturdays, and the best team is going to win. Clemson has been winning against SEC teams, even when we didn't have all the 4- and 5-star talent. We've just had the best coaches and a culture that produces players that play football with the very best of them, and the results have played out as such.
Yeah. Well, I think most people that really follow college football closely, that aren't just, butthurt about Clemson's success, they know that Clemson's, you could put them in SEC, Big Ten, whatever league you want to put them in. I mean, they're the one of the 2 best teams in the country. Programs, it doesn't matter what league they're in. But that's fine. If people want to listen, if people are hating on you and saying you're paying players and that the only reason you're good is because of the league you play in or the conference you play in, it's because they're jealous. And they wouldn't be saying that if you weren't winning. So I'm willing to take the criticism because that means we're winning. You know what I'm saying?
100%, man. 100%. Well, listen, man, I wanted to call in and show some love. I want to tell everyone in the chat room to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you have not done so yet. Yeah, man, I love your content. I love your work. If I can just plug something real fast.
Yeah, sure.
I'm the Panthers analyst. Yeah, I'm the Panthers analyst for DraftTech.com. And every Wednesday we put out a brand new mock draft, all 7 rounds. And the first and the second round have comments for the player that the Panthers drafted. So check that out, DraftTech.com. And then, of course, Carolina Cat Chronicles every Tuesday night at 9. We talk about everything in Panther Nation. We don't miss a Tuesday. It's all year round. And, yeah, that's about it, man. We should have you on our show sometime, Pete. I love the work that you do with your channel and your insight as a whole, man. I love what you're doing.
Thank you, man. I'm a big fan of yours, too. Thanks, Cody, for calling in. I appreciate it. Everybody go check out Cody.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
With the Cat Chronicles. And they do a great podcast over there if you're a Carolina Panthers fan, or even if you just hate the Panthers and you want to watch some Panthers fans piss you off about talking something bad about your team. Go check them out. I'm even may get with him. We've talked about maybe doing something together as far as college football, some collaborations next year. So I'll be in touch with him about that. So go check him out. Good guy.
Absolutely, man. And you enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and you have a blessed one, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks. All right, let me get back into the comment section here. It's something different about doing these call-in shows is I can't read the chat like I normally would. Tiger Nation, I see coming through with a super chat. That enters him, by the way, Tiger Nation. Thank you, sir. That enters Tiger Nation into the super chat contest. That gives him 5 entries. Let's go through the entry list right now for the super chat contest, which runs through March the 1st. So you have another month of that. NASA in CGI Snakes has 4 entries, $4. Alan V coming through with 20 entries. Tiger Nation now has 5 entries. Billy Dawson has 5 entries. And Catfish earlier today gave me 10 entries. So that is going alive and well. Also, they have the Patreon contest. That ends on Friday for this month. So if you want to get in on the Patreon contest, do it either tomorrow or Friday at the latest, and you'll be entered in to win the $50 Visa gift card. Right now, I only had one person that signed up since over the past week, and that is Catfish. So Catfish is trying to win every contest he can. He's probably trying to get paid back for this tiki totem that he sent me. So he's going to get his money back one way or another. But that's fine with Pete, my boy. Bobby Durkins Jr. in the house. Falcons Fury says, May there, Falcons Fury. Falcons Fury, did you get your ham sandwich today, sir? Spring Hill is in the house. I'm listening to the sports talk shows in Tuscaloosa, and they're crying about that. I'm assuming you're talking about the Clemson thing, about the coaches at Alabama. So listen. This first call-in show was amazing, and it was fantastic. And I'm glad I got it worked out because the first one was a complete train wreck. I actually had to delete that off of YouTube because nobody wants to watch that, including myself. So, anyways, you guys are all great. Thank you to Billy Dawson, Tiger Nation, and Catfish for the Patreon members. Also, thank you to everybody who's donated super chats in the past week, and I'll keep you updated on that. Thank you to everybody that called in, except for the first guy that called in and just said lick my balls. I mean, I don't know, if you want to call in and just to say that, that's fine with me. It's your phone bill, not mine. And what I'll do, here's what I need to do. Let me get out of this. I'm going to get out of the call-in studio thing. And I'm just going to ask you guys here real quick before I get off. I need your opinion on something. So, before Mrs. Pete asks me what we're doing for the Super Bowl, would anybody be interested in me doing a Super Bowl live stream? Because I'm thinking about doing it. And if nobody's interested in it, then I'm not going to do it. Because I think everybody and their mother will probably be streaming the Super Bowl. But if I get even just a reasonable amount of people that want me to stream live during the Super Bowl, then I will do it. So far, I'm seeing the Crow and Cock says yes. Falcons Fury says yes. Tiger Nation says I'll watch it. Clemson Carson, who, by the way, is a Patriots fan for some weird reason and a Clemson fan. Anyway, he says he will, but he'll be in and out because of the stress. Yeah. You'll bring a ham sandwich. All right, so I'll get. Here's what I'll do. I'm gonna give it some more thought. I know Mrs. Peete does not want me. Does not. I already shut down the call-in studio, so nobody can call in right now. I'm done taking calls for the night. I'm about to get off, but I'll ask Miss Peete. But listen, you guys got to understand, when you get married, you get old like me, even though I look young and amazing and fantastic, I am old. And when you get old like me, and especially when you're old like me and you're married, you can't do anything without your wife's permission. And you can say, oh, you're soft, oh, you're whooped, whatever it is. Yeah. No. But here's the thing. Women have the power and the ability to both make your life a living hell, and they will do it. I promise. So the reason I've been married as long as I have is because I figured that out very early on, and I've stuck to that principle. So if you need marriage advice, come to Peete. I need to do a marriage advice show, I think. Happy wife, happy life. Yes, thank you. Snup Gamer says, as you want, I send my stuff and smoke it by video to show the world. I take the butt in the hand, Dan, and left and right until it turns red Dan. I paint with blood face on my butt and load it on Instagram. All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thank you. You're amazing. Pigskin Pete, checking out.